All right, welcome back to SouFLoTV. Again, everybody, it is your host with the most. Today is Friday, the 9th of April, 2021. And at this time, it is announced and official that rap legend DMX, known for being a pinnacle in the 1990s and early 2000s hip hop scene, early to mid 2000s hip hop scene, he has died. DMX died today at the age of 50 years old. According to a statement from his family given to the Associated Press, the statement said, Earl was a warrior who fought till he to the very end. He loved his family with all his heart, and we cherish the times that we spent with him. The family said, adding that his music inspired countless people across the world and his iconic legacy will live on forever. The rapper, whose real name is Earl Simmons, was rushed to the hospital in White Plains, New York on April 2nd after suffering a heart attack. On April 3rd, the rapper's longtime New York based lawyer Murray Richard told the Associated Press and hip hop that the hip hop star was on life support, but said that he could not confirm reports that DMX had actually overdosed on drugs and he was not sure what had caused the heart attack. I think at that point the lawyer was trying to be cautious, not to say all the wrong things, and they were probably hoping that X would pull through and they could just say, hey, it was just a heart attack and it wasn't an overdose that led to a heart attack, all that other stuff. But things got worse. Memorial plans have not yet been made. The Rough Rider rapper has battled with drug addiction in the past and was last in rehab in 2019 after spending a year in prison for tax evasion charges, which the IRS had been pushing him for since 2005. Now, as y'all know, in his ongoing commitment to putting family and sobriety first, DMX had checked himself into a rehab facility. A statement on DMX Instagram read at that time. This was 2019 when he had canceled all those shows and he felt like he was relapsing again. He went straight to rehab. He tried to take some responsibility. He apologized to his fans for all the canceled shows and he thanked his fans for their continued support. His fans were in the millions and his fans really did care for him in that way. He first made a splash on a rap scene in 1998 with his first studio album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 charts. This multi-platinum selling album was anchored by several hits that came off this: Rough Riders Anthem, Get At Me Dog, and Stop Being Greedy. The rapper had 4 other chart-topping albums, including And Then There Was X, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, The Great Depression, and Grand Champ. He has released 7 albums and earned 3 Grammy nominations. 5 of his 7 albums went to #1 on the Billboard Top 100 charts. DMX also built a career as an actor, and he starred in the 1998 film Belly, which many Jamaicans who've watched Belly could remember the hitman that was flown in to Jamaica by Lennox Ox, who we also lost not too long ago. And he said to him, "May I give you a fat piece of Jamaican pussy, make you fuck." See? And he was like, and DMX was like, coughing on the weed, and he said, "Nah, you could keep the fat ones, baby." And he appeared in Romeo Must Die a couple of years later with Jet Li and the singer Aaliyah, who also passed at a young age. DMX and Aaliyah teamed up for the film's soundtrack song, which is Come Back in One Piece. The rapper also starred in Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal and in Cradle to the Grave with Lee again. DMX pled guilty to tax fraud in 2017, but was let out on bail until sentencing, and that was revoked in 2018 after he failed to obey the bail conditions, requiring drug treatment and traveling with a counselor. U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff ordered the rapper to wait his sentencing from behind bars. Rakoff said that he was told that DMX tested positive for cocaine and opiates and oxycodone, and that he traveled to St. Louis without a drug counselor after Rakoff had gone to extraordinary lengths to meet his needs and desires so that DMX could continue performing and earning income to support his 15 children. So even through all that, and the judge was still that lenient, the judge could have just threw him in jail, right? But the judge said, nah, I tell you what, stay off drugs, and if you go traveling, bring your drug counselor with you. That way you won't relapse. Well, X got on all that stuff, and X did relapse, and X traveled without a drug counselor. So, looking back in hindsight, the ride was rough. That's why he's a rough rider. And he lived his way. He fought this fight. He struggled with this. And it was a public struggle. Now, besides his legal troubles, DMX worked to help the less fortunate. And he gave a group of Philadelphia men advice during surprise appearance at a homeless shelter group meeting in 2017. He helped a Maine family with its back-to-school purchase a couple of years later, and he did a lot of other philanthropical work that's not listed because X was the type of person to just pop up and do good, and he didn't care to have what good he did for other people publicized. You know, he was one of the people that believed that if you're going to give somebody something, don't make a show out of it so everybody can say, oh, look at me, I'm giving away stuff, I'm a good person. You give from the heart. If nobody sees you give but the person who you gave it to, then you've done your job, right? Most recently, DMX battled fellow rapper Snoop Dogg during Swiss Beats and Timbaland's popular web series called Versus in July of 2020. Damn. A lot of us were saying, man, X put on some weight, but he's looking good. And he was jovial. He made a lot of jokes. You know, he did his 1-2 shuffle while Snoop Dogg, the legend, was dancing, doing dance moves. X joked about how his belly is too big. He can't dance like Snoop Dogg. If this was back in the day, 1990-something DMX, he'd be on the floor. But right now, he got to sit down. And we laughed and we chopped it up. It wasn't necessarily a battle. Now that he's gone, we realize it was a gift. So shout out to Versus for that, because we got to see him worldwide, even though we are in lockdown in some places still. So people can't travel and there can't be any big shows. The world got to see him one more time on that stage, right next to another legend, which is Snoop Dogg, as he deserved to be. You know, it's sad, but DMX was, let's close this by saying that DMX was never afraid. And I know not everybody is a Christian, and not everybody thinks that Jesus Christ is your personal Lord and Savior, but DMX was. He was a Christian. He thought that Jesus Christ was his personal Lord and Savior, and he was not ashamed or afraid to shout it out loud. He was not ashamed or afraid to claim Jesus Christ as his personal Lord and Savior. He was not ashamed to break out in prayer, praying for people, for deliverance, for the power of Jesus Christ, his Lord and Savior. And now that he is passed on, gone from this life, for some reason, I think he will be just fine, right? He will be just fine. Don't worry about DMX. Worry about your own life. Get your affairs in order. And just know that this man lived a full life. Some people live to 100 and never live and see and do all the things that X got to experience. And I'm talking good things in his 50 years on earth. Some people live a full life to old age and have 1 or 2 children, and some have none, even though they were blessed with the gift and ability to be able to have, because they were too busy chasing career and financial gain and all that other stuff. DMX left behind 15 kids that will be well taken care of. So fly high, X. Fly high. Your legacy will definitely live on. And tonight, we about to pour it up and we banging out all your albums tonight. Rest in peace. DMX is dead. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.